afraid you were going to do that. Oh my gosh. I'm really afraid you were going to do that.
Yeah, I got something prepared.
Well, I don't, unfortunately, I don't.
I wouldn't either. Just slow you down if you did.
Right. Well, let's see what happens with this. This is what I wanted to try. I was thinking about this before.
On your side now. I will be on Texas side in a minute. I'm on Texas side.
Stick back. Oh, better take this first, huh?
Oh.
Nothing. What are you gonna do now? No, you're not looking at the board. You're not watching the board.
I made it. I don't give a damn.
All the time
I'm
they have
from the
to
west
show
side.
you don't want to
I made that.
You didn't make that.
It's your move, sir.
We called him, sir. How nice.
Yeah, I bet you. I
At
bet
least he knows my
what you
name.
can do after
No,
this.
he doesn't know.
You go get some kidney.
Whose side do you want?
You like kidney night?
Tony, who let you out?
That's right, man.
I didn't see you.
Yeah, right. You just bumped into me.
Okay.
Guys, man, you gotta watch. Don't get in the
I'm already
this guy.
Game's already won. This game already won.
Shut up and win.
This game's already won.
What?
Nothing. This game's already over. You just don't know it.
You do what?
Of course I'm gonna know.
Hang up.
See who I'm playing, right?
Yeah, well, let's see how that
See who I'm
works.
playing, right?
Let's see how that works.
You wanna see how that works?
Text, tell him daddy, call you daddy.
Call me daddy, boy. Call me daddy.
I already drew against my opponent.
It's just go. Never moving on.
You do that all the time, Dave.
That's the move.
All right,
nobody
that's
but
all
Dave.
time. I had you though.
Get up. Only the Dave understands moves like
Hang
that.
up. Hang up.
Khalil.
Good,
Hang up.
You got what?
Sorry about that mistake. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that.
Yes, I figured you were going to do that.
Just call it. I didn't know.
Always find that.
What are you doing?
I didn't see the first move.
Where
I
did
just
you
saw
go?
you move the queen and push.
Okay.
I didn't see the first.
I thought for some reason I think I moved the queen. I thought you made a move, but whatever. It was my fault.
Mike has to find a way to lose. He's winning the games for Richie King. He's always doing something. You gotta find a way to lose the game. You see what he's trying to do here, Mike? See what he's trying to do?
He always tries that with me too.
Cheapo. Cheapo stuff is all you get from this stuff. Cheapo.
It's your piece of nothing ass play. I know that.
A piece of what?
Hey, those are strong words.
Got your tags there, what's your name? Baby?
Mr.
He doesn't have the name.
Mr. Davey to use right. What's he got?
He looks like he's in trouble.
Oh, did I?
That was pretty good.
Tony or...
That was pretty good.
Yes. Playing somewhere?
Appreciate that.
I just asked. This guy, man. I don't want to say it. I don't want to use the words like that.
Running like a little sissy. Little sissy.
Take your time, man. I started biking in the morning. I do fasted biking, so I've been dropping weight.
How much did you lose?
What's that?
Like 8 pounds.
Silence!
I'm a little scared though. I don't want to be too skinny, you know.
Take your time, Dave. Don't mess it up more than usual,
Right
okay?
here, right? Yeah.
Be quiet. Be quiet. Let me hold the clinic for you.
Clinic? A clinic?
What? We have to
Clinic?
Which kind?
I said a clinic. Man, this guy doesn't get tired of cheapo. He does not
What?
get tired of cheapo moves.
What?
Okay.
Man never gets tired of the cheapos.
What's wrong with the cheapo down there?
Never gets tired of the cheapo.
I got.
I got.
Hang up. Next. Monkey with long tail.
Something about a monkey. a long tail. That's something about a tail.
Well, this is just putting into all that nonsense.
Okay.
All that nonsense.
I can't, you know,
You can't disagree.
I can't disagree. Whatever you say.
He can keep verbulating if he wants.
Oh.
I allow keep verbulation.
Are those the people you see with no faces on Facebook?
Think wrong, you think wrong. I'm just gonna take this shit here. Shut up.
Not too bad, right?
I'm just gonna take that. That looks real good. On national camera, it looks real good. Shut up.
If I had this position, what I would do? Design? No. How you doing, Doug?
I'm doing quite well. You're gonna probably jinx it for me.
I'll walk. I don't want you to get jinxed.
I'm joking.
You let me do it. Ain't nothing wrong with you doing that. Just take out your breath.
I can't teach you everything.
So many games you've lost.
Oh.
Things I have always seen.
What do you gotta do?
John, it's like he doesn't like coming over to this side now. He's like, fine, let's go to the nobody wants to go. Let's go. No, to this side. And I said, this is the next one. I said, listen, I'll go with you Monday night.
Huh.
I'll go over there. He's like, all right.
Oh, shucks. The heck? Alright, let's go there. Overlook that.
Actually, yeah, it's taking my first. Yeah, it's check, so it's not a way to take my queen. I take that with the book and still have much more to do. Yeah. Yeah, I went pawn grabbing when I shouldn't have been. Yeah. Silly me.
Hmm. Nice finish.
Loose game.
Okay.
Tapped right at the end. I cut this guy off. That allowed me to.
Yeah, I thought the bishop was going to go back there, and I don't know.
Hey guys, Brian here, and Thug Dug with a beautiful finish here playing d3. Duck goes for the pawn to activate his queen, but Thug Dug realized what changed in the position. The pawn no longer defended, so it goes for the beautiful rook sack mate here. And for those of you who don't know how the game would end, pawn must take rook, and you have your choice of queen takes or rook takes rook for the mate. And that is nicely done by Thug Dug, man. Not an easy feat to do. And usually his duck is the one squeezing his opponents into positions like this. And I mean, if Thug Dug played this game against anybody else, I probably wouldn't have posted it, but I only posted it just because Duck is usually known to kind of get out of positions like this. But alas, it did not happen, and kudos to Thug Dug for winning the one game against Duck. That is not an easy thing to do. And the billion-dollar question is, where did it all go wrong for Duck, and how could have avoided it, as well as was there a potential attacking line for White, even though he was cramped here. And I want to show you a really, really cool line. There wasn't one during the game, but I want to show you a possible scenario where there could be one, and your mind will be blown. So a lot of great stuff incoming. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you've been enjoying the channel, you want to help support it, can become Patreon, get access to a ton of cool stuff, interviews, Q&As, games with Grumpy Grandpa. My games with Grumpy Grandpa, you gotta watch those, man. The most notorious trash talker ever, and a lot more. Link is in the video description. Really helps support the channel. Alright, we're gonna get to this position, and in the game, Duck plays King C2. kind of wary of this rook coming down, and king c2 seems to protect, and the king seems to be a bit sheltered here, so it looks fine for white. But of course we saw what happened. Doug went pawn hunting here and kind of squeezed Duck into the corner. Let's go move back here. Will be another move for white here. Alright, one idea is queen takes pawn, activate the queen, and also you're threatening the bishop. Let's say bishop back. What do you play as white here? Yes, queen check. Also forking the bishop. Rook block to defend. Rook to defend the pawn, and we have queen f6 because white was targeting this and he offered the trade. And now white, computer has white up at 2.3, so that's one way of doing it instead of defending to counterattack. But if you're a bit more aggressive as black, instead of bishop back, what would you play as a black here? Yes, you can counterattack, right? Queen g2, attack the rook. Go ahead, take it. I will take it with check. Rook e1, rook takes pawn. Go ahead, take my bishop, and now notice not only does this move attack the rook, but it also freed up room for this rook to come down. And now white's going to throw in the check, king h7, and if you take, then this will be mate because now the rook and the queen are connected. So going back here, you can't take yet. Play something like king c1, attack the rook, rook back, tempo the queen, rook takes, bishop takes, and queen takes. But now white has the perpetual here. So I think the key was to get that queen working a little bit more. It kind of was here the entire game until the very end, and but obviously that's harder in hindsight. Hindsight's always 20/20. I want to show you an attacking line for white that wasn't in the game, but it could be possible. In the game we had bishop c1, which disconnected the rooks, right? Let's go move back. Will be another move for white here. And I show you this because to show you that there is hope, even though you're kind of locked into this little corner. There can be hope if your opponent plays like this. So one idea for white, what do you play as white here? Yes, one idea is h5. You'll see why that's important a little bit later. Now let's say black continues his plan with d3. Now what do you play as white? Queen takes pawn. You got to activate the queen. And if black, let's say black plays d2, then you have the queen check, and you're going to pick up that pawn. And now you're kind of, you have some defense here, and now the game's pretty even. Computer has a game at 0.2. Going back here, instead of d2, what happens if you play e4 with the idea of come here and then this next, because the rook will be protecting it from the bishop. If you play e4, then yes, you play rook takes g7, check, bishop takes, no problem, right? If you take bishop takes here, notice that you run into the same mate that happened at the end. So going back here, you have to check with the queen first. And now you see bishop takes, king takes, and queen check. Now you see why that pawn push was important. And check, 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 and mate. Oops, I'm sorry, mate here. Going back here, you can, instead of the queen check, you can throw in the check with the rook. This will be mate, and this will be mate, and this will be checkmate. So I wanted to show you that line really quick, and to kind of show you that there is hope, right? There is hope if you bring your pieces into play. Going back here, some of you may have thinking, why not bishop takes, rook takes mate, but you have this, so that's not going to work. And going here, if you decline to take the bishop, if you play something like king h7, then you have check, and it's like a windmill mate. So I want to point out that line real quick as well. But yeah, whew, what a crazy game, crazy opening by Duck, a3. And Duck might have gotten away with it, but I think just that one move, that little king move here, instead of the counterattack, I think kind of put him in the corner, and Thug Dug was good enough to finish him off. That's not an easy thing to do, so nicely done, Thug Dug, and good fight, Duck, man. That's it's not an easy position to be in, but we've seen him come out from worse. So great game by both. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, and thanks. I'll see you guys tomorrow.